Okay, thanks, Adam. Really appreciate it. I think we could go to the first slide where just want to welcome everybody to the third in the series of webinars that the Federal Highway Administration is putting on as part of the Road Weather Management Program. So today's session is about training. We'll get to that, but the previous session was about the work shortage or labor shortage issues and trying to find and hire people. And then we realized, hey, once you get to finding people, we need to find some different ways to train them. So this is a sort of background of what those spotlight series are. We're basically looking at, current events and current topics that are kind of hot in the road weather community. So next slide. So today we have a really good panel, like we've had the first two webinars as well. Mark DeVries is here from FHWA to talk a little bit about their training program. And that's an organization that does a lot of training in the road weather community. Kevin MacVittie from Colorado DOT to talk about their internal training program to an agency. And then Sue Baillargeon, who is the program director at Front Range Community College, will give sort of an academic perspective to the solutions that are available on the academia side for training up-and-coming winter maintenance or even maintenance people in the road weather community. So that's kind of who we have to come up. But before, I'll give you a little bit of the next slide, what we'll plan on doing. Again, I want to welcome you. It's good afternoon. I mean, if you're on the West Coast, I guess it's morning. For me, I'm actually coming to you live from the headquarters in Washington, D.C. Federal Highway Office. So it's a nice 85 and balmy Washington, D.C. weather. So happy to be inside and doing a webinar today. What we're going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about the NHI web-based training that the Federal Highway Administration put together. And then we'll go through and have a quick presentation by each of our guests on their programs and how they work them. And then at the end, with all of your questions that you put in the question chat, we'll sort of do a firing line at them to sort of answer some of those questions about this subject. So next slide. So before we get started, we're going to do a poll. And when the poll pops up, all of the questions will be in the one box for you to answer, so you can go at your own pace, sort of check what applies for you as you're going down. There's a little scroll bar on the right that you can move down to those 4 questions. The end one, writing in, I think you can write in whatever it is you seem to think might be the most needed for day-to-day operations training. Just going to give a couple minutes to go through here. And just so you're aware, this information is, it's fun to do these kind of polls so you can interact with others, but it's actually useful for us to understand where the road weather community thinks the challenges and issues are, or what's the most important thing, so we can target our program in trying to facilitate getting that kind of training or those training needs met in the community. So Adam, can we leave the poll up and move to the next slide while they're working on that? Since we're experimenting. So, okay. So I thought I would give it, while you're finishing up the poll, appreciate your answers there. I thought I would give you an overview of this new course that's on the National Highway Institute site, which has a different training. And this is a web-based training. It's self-paced. It's about a 6-hour training course. I did it in 8 because I'm pretty slow, but you could probably do it in 4 if you know what you're doing. But it's about 6 hours, and it's kind of immersive. You actually take on the role of a transportation supervisor or an operator, and you go through the day by day what the things you need to learn and know about how to run winter maintenance operations. And by the way, this segment, that training is not just winter maintenance. There's a section for winter maintenance, but then also other things like dealing with adverse weather. There's other there's other weather elements to the training that are useful as well. And it has a lot of different good things. And And the reason why I point this out is if you have new people that you're hiring, this is a good place to start. It gives you very basic principles and tools of road weather management. And it also allows, it's also good for somebody who might just need a refresher as well. So even if you've been out there and you've done this course and you know what you're doing, sometimes it's good to go back and just get the refresher on some of the principles. Sometimes there's some new strategies or some new solutions that you might have forgot about that you might want to go and check out. Next slide. Yeah, so this is sort of an example of one of the modules that you go through during a winter storm, during a tropical storm. High winds and low visibility. So they even talk about, you know, fire danger and some stuff in that third session as well. And then of course at the end there's an assessment. But notice it is a 6-hour-long course, but it also is, if you need CEU credits, you can also get 6 CEU credits. So this is the kind of tool that's available online. So this is, you know, you can log in, it's free, it doesn't cost anything. If you go to the NHI website, you can log in and add it to your cart and go through the program. Anybody can that wants to learn more about the principles and tools. So that's an example of where you can go that's available online.